great Boston League opponent, Everett High School.
Hello and welcome to Somerville Highlander football on Somerville Ed TV. We are at Dilboy Stadium for the first time in 2 years. I'm Todd Harmon, joined by Eddie Maldonado. And Eddie, first time in 2 years here at Dilboy Stadium. Tough opponent, the Everett Crimson Tide, in town to face the Highlanders.
Oh yeah, feels good to be back, but with that said, tough opponent coming in, right? What a way to start your home opener here for the Highlanders, coming off a very tough loss against North Quincy. Definitely looking to bounce back. Everett, same, coming off a pretty bad loss there against Everett, also probably looking to bounce back here, so we got a good one on our hands.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We are rechristening Dilboy Stadium across all sports. We've had a girls soccer game season starting here, multiple of those games. We've had boys soccer as well here at Dilboy, back here at Dilboy on the new turf, and now the football team gets it here as well. Both teams 0-1, as you noted, Eddie. Highlanders with that 44-0 loss down at North Quincy. The Crimson Tide started off with a 49-19 loss at home to Zavarian. So some angry Crimson Tide out there. The Highlanders will be kicking off. They are in the red with the blue helmets and the white numbers. The Crimson Tide is in the cream color.
I'll call it cream. Yeah, let's go with that.
Red numbering. And the kickoff is fielded and run out just across the 20 to the 22-yard line by Jaden Profit. Highlanders will start out on defense. Highlanders have a new head coach, David Pereira. And Coach Pereira, very excited about this opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
It's his first head coaching stop. He coached for years over in Stoneham with Bob Almeida. Picked up, learned a lot of things from Coach Almeida over there in Stoneham. And now he's bringing that here back to Somerville, where he grew up. And let's see what he can do here for the Highlanders as he looks to rebuild this program. Starting at quarterback is Maury Ellerby for the Crimson Tide. Ellerby will hand that one off to the near side, and that is Damian Lackland. So he gets it forward for a first down and more. Moves it all the way up to about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, about an 18-yard gain there on the first play from Lackland. He really found that corner and was able to get around and pick up a solid first down there, so a good start.
Pereira last week, of course, with that loss to North Quincy. He said the defense showed some sparks, though. They had some special teams miscues, allowed 2 punt returns for touchdowns. That didn't help matters any as well. As the handoff is back here to the other side, or to the near side once again by Lackland. Highlanders able to get him before the first down that time as he cut it back to the inside, got it up near midfield to about the 47-yard line. It'll be second down and 3 now for Everett.
An ever-growing tempo here, really no huddle, just going right up to the line and just going to snap it again.
Ellerby from the shotgun, this time hands off to the far side. That time's Matthew LaMonica. He's brought down. Nice job tackling there by the Highlanders. Who was that? I believe it was Alvin Benavides who was able to get in there and bring him down. He did get across the midfield stripe for the first down, though. So first down and 10 for Everett. And in motion, he throws it to the far side, and that is incomplete. So that will bring up second down and 10 for Everett.
Looked like the intended receiver there for Everett was Ward, unable to bring that one in. So first pass attempt by Everett tonight, incomplete.
Ward got a touchdown last week against Zavarian, one of the few touchdowns they were able to get against Zavarian. Second and 10 now. The handoff back here to the near side once again. Got hit in the backfield, but Lackland's able to turn the corner, and he's going down the field. It looks like he's got a chance. He's knocked out of bounds just at the 3-yard line is where they're going to mark that. Lackland showed some speed there. Look for a moment like number 23, Eddie Hudson-Jones, had him in the backfield.
Hudson had him in the backfield and just could not corral him, but a nice job there towards the end on the play by Elijah Desson, able to catch up to him, push him out of bounds, and save a touchdown there on that play.
Yeah, good job taking the angle there from the defensive backfield as they were able to get that speedy Lackland once he was able to turn the corner. But now brings up a first down and goal for Everett. from the 3-yard line.
Looks like they're going to give Lackland a breather here, and LaMonica is going to enter as the running back for Everett.
Get that marked up here on the near hash.
Ellery with LaMonica next to him. Direct snap.
And handoff right up the middle. Good job by the Highlanders, as they're able to stop him just short of the goal line. That was Jaden Profit with the handoff.
Yeah, nice job there by the Highlanders not to let Profit get in. They were able to sniff that one out and stop it before you get to the end zone.
Yeah, big number 79 in the middle there, Christopher Islane, holding his ground pretty well for the Highlanders. Middle of that Highlander defensive line. Second down and goal now for Everett.
Bringing in a fullback here.
Handoff is going to be right up there to Matthew LaMonica, who came in motion and got the handoff. That will go for a touchdown for the Crimson Tide as they take the 6-0 lead, pending the extra point.
Yeah, I mean, right there, as we saw the entire drive, nothing special. They were just running to the right, running to the left, and at that time there, LaMonica found the hole on the left side and was able to punch it in for Everett.
He's got 5 on this drive, 2 carries.
Injured Highlander down on the field, back in the end zone. Highlanders dealing with injury already this young season. Their normal starter, Victor Santiago, was injured in the second scrimmage during preseason, and it was his off shoulder. He dislocated his non-throwing shoulder, and so he will be out for the next at least 2 to 3 weeks. As that was Roxon Tapa, who was down, but he is up and walking off under his own power.
Yeah, good to see Tapa get up there. It looked like he wanted to stay in the game, too. So, good sign for the Highlanders.
So now the extra point attempt. Profit will hold. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. And it is good. So a 7-0 lead to start off for Everett. Like you said, Eddie, they just took it down the field, running the ball to great effect. Big run there by Lackland, Lackland, I should say, who was able to bust a big 48-yard run down inside the 5-yard line. And that was the big play that got him down there near for the touchdown, so that LaMonica could put it in.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the beginning of the game, Todd. Everett's going to come in here. They're probably a little upset, right? A little angry. So what better way to kind of work out your angers than run the ball 7 times on that drive there?
Two divergent programs between Everett and Somerville. Everett, of course, a Division I power for many, many years. Maybe frustrated as well with that loss against Zavarian, but still ranked very highly in the state, within the top 25 of the Boston Globe rankings. Highlanders in a rebuilding situation. Losers of, frankly, 18 in a row. Coach Pereira pointed that out to us the other day. He's very much aware of it as well. He's kind of building from the ground up, from the studs up. He's trying to build this program back into something. And you're going to have bumps along the way, and we'll see what happens today. But a capable team like Everett could be a very large bump.
Absolutely. I love that Coach Pereira is bringing that attitude in here, and he's bringing in a new energy for this Highlander team.
He talks about Somerville pride. As that one bounces
Muff
off.
The kick there.
Well, I think Everett has it.
Looks like Everett's going to come up with the football here.
Yep, bounced right off of the pads.
Yes.
And special teams was a problem last week for the Highlanders. If you're
No
Coach
question
Pereira,
about it.
you don't like to see that.
So Everett now will get the ball after the fumble on the kickoff, a muffed kickoff there. They'll get the ball at the 21-yard line of the Highlanders. First down and 10, already leading by a touchdown.
Definitely not the start the Highlanders wanted, Todd. When you're playing a team as great as Everett and as great as they've been against Somerville, you almost need to be near perfect here. So that mistake, it could be proved to be costly.
Now they've got trip receivers to the far side of the field, looking like they might open it up a bit as Ellerby's back to pass. Looks out to his left, a little screen pass there. Good job by the Highlanders defensively. As I see here, number 18 right there on the tackle was Nahemi Simon. Also in the area,
Second and 8.
Dessen.
2 indeed. Second and 8 from the 9.
Nicely done by Simon, not letting him make any move. Was able to attack him right from the catch.
Second down now for the Crimson Tide. Ellerby, a flare pass over here to Rodriguez, and he is through the middle of the field for the touchdown. That was a very well conceived play.
Oh, we're gonna
We
have
got
a
a
flag
holding
here.
call though. I did not see that flag down. Holding called against Everett.
Touchdown's going to be called back.
Touchdown comes right on back, and I'm not totally sure. I didn't see where that flag was thrown to, or from, I should say, whether it was from the offensive line with a hold or whether it was more on the outside. A couple of the wide receivers out there providing those blocks on that quick inside cut. The Highlanders now breathe a sigh of relief as they dodge the bullet with the help of the holding. They'll bring up a second down and long for Everett, as that's backed up all the way 15 yards back from the original line of scrimmage at the 36-yard line now. Second down and 25.
Damian Lackland back in the game here for Everett.
Ellery back to pass, gets a little bit of pressure, sets up the screen to the near side, and Lackland unable to get out there. Good job by the Highlanders containing that screen.
They were prepared for that, and they didn't let him get too far with that, and then the turf monster caught him there. It might be that new turf, Todd.
Yeah, the new turf, you know, they didn't list it in the estimate, but the turf also plays as a 12th defender. It's really, really good.
We need every advantage we can get, so I'll take it.
So a big third down here for Everett. Third and long. Ellerby back to pass, looking downfield. He has him open as Christian Zamor. Zamor, a Division I commit to Boston College as a junior. His first season with the Crimson Tide, and he shows what he can do right there. He was wide open up the seam. Looked like the Highlanders had two defenders who were both pulled forward on that play. He was able to just run right by them.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Todd.
Okay.
Yep, exactly what I was going to say there, Todd. He just beat him off the line of scrimmage, used that speed, got right past him, and found the end zone.
13-0 now the score, pending the extra point. Profit on the hold once again. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is no good as that goes wide to the right. So the score will remain 13-0 after that touchdown pass to Zamor.
Yeah, that time we saw the Crimson Tide there mixing a little more pass on that drive, Todd, and which was interesting to see. I think they are trying to exploit kind of the holes in that defense there. We saw it on the touchdown that was called back, and then we saw it on that touchdown there by Zamor, just able to get right past the defensive backs.
But Kamari Ellaby goes 29 yards.
So now an opportunity, hopefully, for the Highlanders to get an offensive possession. They fumbled the last kickoff, a muffed kickoff.
Oh, I don't know. You meant slow, please.
You know, we were talking about Coach Pereira and what he wants from this program. He's looking to build this program. He wants pride from his players. He wants them to be tough, dedicated. He wants them basically to commit and buy in. That's what every single football player and football coach, I should say, wants. But Coach Pereira feels like he's doing a good job with that. He started off, he basically built his roster by 25% extra because 10 extra kids signed up after the first week of practice. That one's down on the ground once again. It is picked up, and now running with it is Jones to the far side, and he is brought down at the 8-yard line. So Jones trouble catching the kickoff once again. He was able to corral it, though, from the ground. So no turnover, but the Highlanders way back in their own territory now.
Yeah, Hudson Jones having difficulty with the kickoff duties there. I can't say the sun is in his eyes, but nonetheless, you know, tough issues there for Jones. And
it's definitely in our eyes.
Yeah, hopefully he'll clean it up there.
The sun is definitely in our eyes. I know that much. So the first offensive possession for the Highlanders, starting at quarterback for the Highlanders today, is Austin Pereira. Pereira, normally a wide receiver, he is filling in because of Victor Santiago's injury. As I noted, Santiago will likely be back in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, looks like we're going to have a false start here, Todd.
False stop for the Highlanders on the offensive line.
False start, Somerville.
That will back them up.
Yeah, interesting to see what the Highlander offense brings to the game today. As you mentioned, they have Pereira coming in at quarterback. So really interesting to see, we're going to have some type of wildcat offense. Are they going to let Pereira air this thing out? But as noted last year, Todd, it's going to start with that offensive line.
Yep, absolutely. It starts or it ends with the offensive line. It depends on whether they can get some time to throw the ball, but on top of that, can they beat some holes through that defensive line for the running back to go through. Orlinski Philemon in the backfield. Actually, no, that's not Philemon. Let's see here. I did not see the number on who that was. I thought it would be Philemon in the back. Gain of about a yard or two on the play. So it'll bring up second down.
Good job on the front. Ball's on the right edge. Quarterback Austin Pereira. And again, the heavy sign next to him.
Trips to the left here for the Highlanders. Let's see if they decide to air this one out.
Second down for the Highlanders. Pereira throws it out here to the near side. Pass is complete on the little flare pass. Moving up the field, getting across the 10-yard line to about the 11-yard line on that reception.
And that was Jaden
Prevalent.
Yep.
Pass complete to Jaden Prevalent.
Bird's up right now. Step by Joe. Joe's up. We're going to have him come in.
It's plays like that where the Highlanders are at their best, when you're able to get it to your athletes in space. And we've mentioned it before, Linsky Philemon, Jaden Prevalent. Two capable players on the offensive side.
Absolutely. The Highlanders have playmakers. It's just a matter of getting it in their hands as Pereira rolls out to the far side. He makes the pass complete, just short of the first down, I believe.
Reception by Christian Zamora, who went
That's going to bring up a fourth down for the Highlanders. They're going to have to punt this one away. Special teams, very, very difficult for the Highlanders last week. We've seen some issues this week so far. They allowed 2 punt returns for touchdowns last week against North Quincy. So we'll see what they decide to do here, whether they kick the ball away from the returners. 2 returners back for the Crimson Tide. Ketterson Pierre, number 8, is one of them. He's on the near side. Luca Valens back to punt. Gets the snap. Good punt by Valens. Directional to the far side. We'll see where they mark that.
Right about the 40, no, midfield on
About midfield. About the 48-yard line is where they're going to put that one. So they did kick it away from the coverage, or kick it away from the return men.
No surprise there. I think, Coach Pereira was definitely on top of them all week that they need to improve the punting unit coming into this game.
Opening night here, Dilboy Stadium. First time in over 2 years we've had a game here at Dilboy for football. Noontime Sports, the podcast, Noontime Sports. You can also check out their Twitter feed at Noontime Sports. They are covering both teams today as Everett busts another run. As he is going to go as he broke a tackle at about the 22-yard line and was able to take it all the way downtown. Lots of speed Lackland has as he gets around the corner. He just hits that turbo boost and is able to get around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. That was unexpected. I think the defense did not see that coming, the way that they lined up in a wing formation and kind of reversed the direction there for the Everett offense, and was able to find the end zone.
So Everett now leads 19-0, pending the extra point. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and that one is good.
Looks good, yeah.
So a 20-0 lead for Everett. 5:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Highlanders unable to get the ball moving offensively in the one possession that they've had. They did complete a pass during that possession, or two passes, I should say, during that possession, but were not able to achieve a first down, and Everett really making the Highlanders pay.
Yeah, Everett's all over them here in this first quarter, but that doesn't mean the game's over already here in this first quarter. Still a lot of football to be played here, and there was some small glimpses on that previous drive offensively for the Highlanders that they can take away and kind of build momentum on here moving forward.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. As Pereira was able to get some pass receptions out there, and like we've talked about, Eddie, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but there is always playmaking ability on the perimeter for the Highlanders. It's just a matter of getting that ball into their hands in a position to do something with it.
Absolutely, and we'll see one of those playmakers now as Jaden Prevalin will line up to return this kick here.
Prevalin back. He makes the catch, which is good at this point. Busted out past the 20 to the 25. And he's taken down there at the 26-yard line. Everett, just to note, did allow a 96-yard kickoff return last week against Bavaria.
Yeah, possibly a chance for Prevalin to exploit that Crimson Tide special teams there. We saw Eddie Hudson-Jones in there previously, kind of muffed two kick returns. So I think we're going to see Prevalin moving forward.
Probably so. Prevalin very, very secure with how he caught that ball. Didn't let it get too far into his pads or bounce off of his pads. So the Highlanders will start off with decent field position here from the 26-yard line for their second possession. Pereira has Nahemi Simon back in the backfield with him. Three receivers to the top of the screen. Simon shifts to the near side. The handoff is to Simon. He'll try to bust it to the outside. Can't find anything out there, though, as he's pushed back. Gets about a yard on the play, maybe two.
Yeah, Simon was looking for an opening there on the right side of the line, just unable to find it. I think it's interesting so far in this Highlander offense, we're seeing a mix of backs in the backfield right next to Pereira.
So second down now for the Highlanders is going to be a second and a long 8. Prevalin and Hudson-Jones here to the near side, two receivers at the top. Pereira rolls out here to the near side, gives it off to Hudson-Jones. Hudson-Jones is pushed out of bounds across the 40 at the 41. That's good enough for a Highlander first down.
Nicely done there by the Highlander offense, and nicely done by Pereira, able to roll to his left and find the wide open receiver there and pick up the first down.
Absolutely.
Positive yardage.
It's tough. You're a right-handed quarterback. You're rolling to the left, trying to throw from the right-handed side. It's tough to get any mustard on that ball. He did a really good job getting it out there, and it was excellently done by Eddie Hudson-Jones as he was able to get out of bounds after the first down. So Highlanders now first down and 10 from the 41. Trip receivers at the top of the screen. Tosses it to Simon. Simon trying to get to the outside, seeing if he can find the corner, but nothing doing there. As he is taken down by Christian Zamor. That's that BC commit.
Yeah, the Crimson Tide just smelled that one out. They knew exactly where that play was going and were able to stop it before anything could happen.
Absolutely. So a loss of 5, or actually 6 on the play. So it'll be a second down and 16 now for the Highlanders. Simon listed as a wide receiver on our rosters. Didn't really look like he was running from the running back position like a wide receiver, trying to get around the defense instead of cutting it into the inside when there was nothing out there. As Pereira rolls out here to the left, he's got nothing, and so he throws it away as the pressure was right in his face. Mark Sylvan right in the face of Pereira on that play. Good job by Pereira to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, Pereira was trying to run a similar play as we saw, to pick up that first down with Eddie Hudson-Jones there. And it seems to be what they're trying to accomplish here offensively is just get Pereira to the outside, before he sees pressure in his face, and then get it to those playmakers.
So it'll be a 3rd down now and 16 for the Highlanders. Trailing 20-0, 3:45 remaining here in the first quarter, as Pereira actually knows a direct snap going to Prevalent. And Prevalent coming to the near side. Gains about a yard. So it'll be a 4th down for the Highlanders, and the punt team will take the field. You talked about possibly a wildcat look, and that was kind of what we had right there as Jaden Prevalent snuck into the backfield and took that snap.
Yeah, not surprised that that's what we saw there, Todd. They were trying to pick up some sort of positive yardage here, especially after we saw them pick up that first down and then just move backwards after that. So hopefully something to build on here from this wildcat formation and from Pereira rolling out to his left.
Luca Valens back to kick now for the Highlanders. Punt.
Almost blocked there, but nice
Almost
job by
got
Valens
to
to
it.
get that one away.
Takes a bounce, takes a Highlander bounce for another additional 5 to 7 yards, and it will be down at the 28-yard line. Jeremiah Ellie gets down there to down it for the Highlanders, and that's where the Crimson Tide will take over with 2:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Highlanders trailing 20-0.
By using trash receptacles located on the concourse area. Many times,
I mentioned that Noontime Sports is here, the podcast Noontime Sports. The guys from Noontime Sports are here. They had also Coach Pereira on their show earlier during the summer. You can find that as well on their podcast feed.
Oh, we had a fumble there, but he was able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick up about 8 yards there.
Ellerby is a big guy for a quarterback.
Well, it looks like we have a flag come in at the end of the play there. Could be on the defense, usually a late hit in a scenario like that.
Wait for the signal here. Personal foul is going to be the call. Face mask. One of the Highlanders got a hand on the face mask of Ellerby. So 15 yards will be marked off against the Highlanders. It's going to get it just across midfield to the Highlander 49-yard line. LaMonica, Lamore, the running back.
First man through. Not down. Looked like down.
Able to break a couple of tackles
Yeah,
there and
good.
pick up a good 5 yards there.
Good tough running there on the inside, carrying Jeremiah Elliott along for about 4 of those yards that he picked up.
Tackled by Jeremiah Elliott.
Timeout's going to be taken by Somerville. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Crimson Tide when they return to play. The Highlanders struggling on the offensive end. Their defense, I mean, they've given up
They're
some
holding
big
strong.
plays. There's no question
Those
about
big
that.
plays are killing them, but they're holding strong there, especially at the line of scrimmage. They had a couple positive plays where they were able to stop them before gaining any more than 1 yard. It's those big explosive plays on the outside that are killing them right now.
Absolutely, no question about that. Highlanders a very tough opening to the season as they opened the season last week at North Quincy. They host Everett this week. Next week they will be, as I look to my schedule, I'm trying to remember, is Lynn Classical? Yes, they will be at Lynn Classical, another GBL game next week. And then the week after that they will be against Malden. Those first 3 games, North Quincy, Everett, Lynn Classical.
It's not a cakewalk.
3 very, very difficult teams. Three teams out of their division as well. Higher division teams. Lynn Classical, Division 2 team. Everett, of course, Division 1. North Quincy, I believe, Division 1 as well. So a tough opening to the season. We'll see what Everett comes up with here with 2nd down and 5. As the give is to Pierre out to the outside. He's being strung along,
Nicely
trying to get
done.
the corner. Great tackle there. Elijah Desson brings him down.
Harry.
And there it is, nicely done by the Highlander defense. Again, beating them at the line of the scrimmage, not allowing them to get outside, and Desson with a great tackle.
Absolutely. Desson did a fantastic job as he just would not let go. Rode him all the way down. No gain on the play, so brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, that Highlander defense flashing the potential that we heard Coach Pereira talk about.
So we got 125 and counting to go in the quarter.
That tight formation once again. Ellerby under center.
They have jumped there.
Yeah, jumped off sides.
That would be enough, should be enough for the first down.
It might have been Ellie there getting a little too excited on the play.
Yeah. Let's see which way they're going to move it. It looks like it was the Highlanders who did jump, though, so they're going to give Everett the 5 yards, and that will be enough for the first down.
Penalties offside. Somerville.
Yeah, that's tough there, Todd, when they had a couple of good positive plays defensively for the Highlanders and to just give up the first down like that, especially on something where, you have the control. I know Coach Pereira is not happy about that.
So a 1st down and 10 for Everett after the offsides penalty.
Breaks outside.
They run that to the interior once again. Nice job by the Highlander defense holding up. Gang tackle there. 3 Highlanders were able to bring him down after a gain of about 5. 2nd down and 5 now for the Crimson Tide.
Alvin Benavides with the tackle.
Okay, back to Burr. Joe's up.
I'm going to give him 5 on that one.
30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
If this next play is a running play, it should be the last play.
Looks like they're content with just letting the clock run down here and bring us into the second quarter. Or
We'll see if they snap it here as they are lining up. Ellerby once again under center.
Burr's up. Sent by Joe. Joe's up.
They fake it over here to the near side.
Gets to the outside, trying to run a foot race.
And he's taken down inside the 10 at the 4-yard line as that was given off to Jaden Profit. Faked the ball to Lackland coming to the near side. Handed off to Profit going to the outside on the left.
I have an S5X card.
And that will do it for the first quarter of play, as Everett will have it 1st down and goal when we return for second quarter action.
Joe's up. Yes, now I'm off you.
So they are going to be, that will be a 31-yard gain, and Everett's going to start.
We are back for the second quarter of action as Everett has the ball 1st down and goal from the Somerville 4-yard line.
Touchdown.
Everett leading 20-0. Looking to add on to that one as they give it to Lackland on the right-hand side, and he just pushes straight through for the touchdown.
yeah, there was nobody getting in the way there. Lackland was able to just walk right into the end zone. And again, Everett is content with lining up in that wing formation and just running the ball right at the Highlander defense.
So another Somerville player injured this time right in the middle of the end zone.
Another injured Highlander on the ground. Looks like it might. I couldn't quite see the number. It looked like it might have been number 4. That would be Jaden Prevalin.
Yep. Just gonna kind of. That's fine. Hold it right there. Just hold it right there, guys.
So as they tend to injure Highlander in the end zone, we have 7 seconds into the second quarter. The sun is almost Everett is off and running.
I think you're right. That is number 4, Jaden Prevalin.
Yes.
Timeouts.
Well, to their credit,
So the Highlanders getting hit with the injury bug here early in this season. As we mentioned, those injuries against North Quincy, and now here they've had a couple players already go down.
Yeah, Jaden Prevalin hopping off, dragging that foot behind him. That's tough for the Highlanders. Prevalin was able to get open a couple times from that wide receiver position, and also had become their primary kickoff returner after fumbles on the first 2 kickoffs by the
Prevalin
other.
was definitely one of their more explosive players
Absolutely.
offensively, and
Burr's up.
you don't like to see anybody get hurt, especially Prevalin here. It's an important piece to the Highlander offense and their secondary as well.
new system, other than the scheduling nightmare,
They'll keep tending to Prevalent. They are treating it more like it's a cramp over there near the pylon.
Not enough H2O today during the school day for Prevalent.
Everett setting up for the 2-point conversion. Handoff right up the middle. And they give it to Jaden Profit, and he is in for the 2 points.
Sorry about that, Bert. I didn't realize they were doing a 2-point.
2-point conversion there by Profit. Makes it a 28-0 game. You can hear the band. Everett band has come out. Good crowd here at Dilboy Stadium. And it's great to be back at Dilboy Stadium.
Oh, it feels good, Todd. We haven't been here in a couple of years, so it feels good to welcome back to Dilboy Stadium and hear that band all over.
The pageantry of high school football. We noted previous to the game, but we don't know exactly why, that Somerville has changed their positioning in terms of where their team is, which bench they're on. Everett is on the near sideline, Somerville on the far sideline. That's a new change this season. We're not totally sure why that change has
not
occurred.
Sure for the reasoning. Maybe
but we will
new
endeavor to
coach,
find that out.
New energy?
Yeah, possibly
Try
so.
something different.
So Everett will kick this one away, leading 28-0. Just underway here in the second quarter.
We're going to have Lucas Brito back there to return now, number 13. Standing next to who looks like Jeremiah Ellie.
Yep. As Andani Santos sends this one away, it's fielded at the 4. Possible opening there up the middle of the field across the 25, taken down at the 26, where the Highlander offense will take over, trailing 28-0. Austin Pereira at the quarterback position for the Highlanders. He's down a wide receiver now. Jaden Prevalent limped off the field after an Everett touchdown. Although it did look like they were dealing with a cramp over there when they were working on him, so hopefully he will be able to return.
Yeah, we've seen some positives already tonight from Pereira. Hopefully he can build upon that. We see him trying to roll outside, get away from the pressure, get him loose, and find those open receivers.
So with only one first down in the first quarter, Everett with 7. 8.
Sam, we're going to start with Bird, then we're going to go to Jeff.
Stacked receivers
All right, Bird's up, stand by Joe.
on both sides for Pereira. As he fakes it, quarterback will sneak up the middle there. A little quarterback draw action after the fake. See where they mark that at the 31-yard line. Gain of about 5. That's going to be closer to the 30, so we'll call it a 2nd down and 6 now for the Highlanders. I was waiting to see how long it would take before Pereira took off running the ball.
I was thinking the same thing because they were flashing that for a while now in those last couple of plays. I want to see more of that, but I'd love to see Pereira keep it and just use those legs and, keep the Crimson Tide on their toes.
Trip receivers down here to the near side for the Highlanders. Pereira back to throw. He loads it up, looking downfield. Incomplete. Trying to get Jeremiah Ellie out there. Had Ellie lined up with one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, just some miscommunication there. I think Pereira was hoping Ellie would just take off and run a streak pattern there and just go right at the end zone, but was jammed at the line of scrimmage. It wasn't able to make separation.
So 3rd down and 6 now for the Highlanders.
Bird's up, stand by Joe.
Desson in motion. Trips now on the near side.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pitch.
Pitches to the far side, trying to get to the corner, but he is tossed to the ground. Is Nahemi Simon. Simon just not able to get that corner as there wasn't a block out there to help him. So he's thrown back for the 6-yard loss.
Pedro Beats, 4th down.
Yeah, they've been trying to use Simon's speed on the outside here, but it just hasn't worked like the Highlanders would like there, as the Crimson Tide were all over it.
A little bit more, a little bit more.
So a 4th down now for the Highlanders. As Valens in to punt this one away.
I need you higher sound.
They also gotta watch film and see themselves give up 49 points, regardless of who the opponent is. Not something they want to repeat the film of this
Joe.
Shift to
Joe,
the
your
left.
thing went purple, Joe.
New quarterback now. Nope. Finally,
Joe's up.
Valens punts this one away. Once again, going for the sideline. Goes out of bounds at the Highlander 44-yard line, which is where they're going to mark that one.
Nice. That's better. That's exactly what we need.
So Everett leading 28-0. Will bring their offense back out onto the field.
Actually, it's fine now.
Todd, I'd love to see what Everett's average start of field position is. You know, they've definitely started in Highlander territory. It feels like every drive since their first drive.
Joe, so frame up the team.
So tough task for the Highlander defense, but we have seen them hold strong, especially at the line of scrimmage on certain run plays here. So would love to see them to continue to improve on that.
Ellery back to pass, throws out here to the near side. Brito did not wrap up. 11 gets around the corner, and Jacoby Ward goes in for the touchdown. Another Highlander down, injured, 24, but he's being helped up there.
Yeah, Ward refused to go down there.
Lucas Brito was there in coverage. He did hit him, but did not wrap him up. Brito, of course, in because of the injury to Prevalent.
Yep.
So opportunity there for Brito, was not able to wrap him up, and you see what happens whenever a talented player is not contained.
Right off of it, reverse direction, came around to the left.
So 34-0 is the lead for Everett.
Good speed showed by Ward,
Santos on to kick.
as they say, in the end zone.
Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good.
Coming to
As they
Extra point by Donnie Santos is good. Everett 35.
35-0 is the Crimson Tide lead over the Highlanders.
That was not a concern last week in Severian. Had the starting offense.
I would say this does qualify as an angry Everett team after last week's loss to Zavarian.
I think so.
Take-
I don't think
taking
we've
out a
seen
bit
them
of that
punt yet.
frustration.
Yep. Taking out a little bit of frustration, and I mean, you can imagine after a tough loss against a tough opponent like Zavarian, you know, they had to sit there all week with that loss.
Yep.
Go to practice every day. So we're seeing a result of that loss here today as they're up 35-0 against the Highlanders.
Severian's got a program, maybe not as many as St. John's.
9:35 remaining in the half. Highlanders trailing 35-0.
We digress because
Early in the season, very tough early season for the Highlanders. Three very tough teams to start off the season. Right in the middle of that run is this game against Everett, and Highlanders now. You know, it's an opportunity for the guys to show how much commitment they have, how much they're going to keep fighting, and you know, I think they still have that fight. There's no question about it. We came in tonight. We were talking about how we wanted to see them score. And I think that's still on the table.
Absolutely, and I think that's what Coach Pereira wants to see here with his offense, about to take the field again.
Swallowed under is Elijah Desson right there at the 20-yard line.
Elijah Desson with the return. Kevin Diaz with the tackle.
Got it out to about the 22, which is where they will mark it.
Freddie Merchant got 21 more people to watch.
And we talked about it before, Todd. Coach Pereira knows it's a tough task to come in and, you know, to come here to Dilboy and play against Everett. Last week playing North Quincy, you know, tough schedule. But he wants to see his boys stick to the game plan, execute, and just show that effort.
Yep.
As you mentioned, that's all it's about. Come out here, show me that you care.
Just
Find
keep
the-
fighting. Just
Yep.
keep fighting. And that's what in talking to him, that's what he saw at North Quincy as well. They kept fighting, and that's what he was happy to see. And they're going to keep working on fundamentals. They're going to keep working on getting better, and that's what they've got to do every single week. And we hopefully will get to see that development throughout the season. It's Pereira under center, flips it out here to the far side, breaking one tackle there around the corner. Out of bounds is Dessen.
Destin, I feel like we've been calling Destin's name a lot tonight. They love getting the ball to him.
Elijah Destin with the reception.
Picks up about 5 on that play. 2nd down and 5. Highlanders have had some successful first down plays. They've gotten good down and distance on 2nd down, but then they've hurt themselves with penalties. They've hurt themselves as well with just miscommunications on the offensive end as well.
And the only positive from that, Todd, is it's something that you can fix and you
Yes.
can control. So
You're going to be playing a lot of teams that don't look like.
Ernst Pierre here on the far bottom of the screen. Handoff goes up the middle as they tried to get Nahemi Simon on a quick little opener there.
Simon.
He's pushed back.
Yeah, there was a little extra.
Foul on the play. We have a flag down.
This being the score.
looks like we're going to have some after-play festivities here.
Yep.
Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike is going to be the call. And it goes against Everett. We're going to
I think he's
offset him.
calling it on both sides here. So. Oh.
Yep, we're going to offset him.
After the play, so it'll be 3rd and 6.
He might have given us 3 unsportsmanlike conducts there. It looked like he was directing a plane at one point there. But.
Yeah, I wasn't totally sure how many signals of what we were getting.
Yep.
We definitely got, I believe, 2 offsetting unsportsmanlike calls.
So it looks about 3rd and 5 for the Highlanders.
Yep. The offsetting penalties did occur after the play, so the 2nd down did count. So it will be a 3rd down, more like a 3rd down and 6 here for the Highlanders. The line to get is the 32. We can talk to Joe, our producer, see whether we can get that cool 1st down line. That'd be really neat. I knew somebody who wasn't really a football fan, and they went to watch their first ever live football game, and they elbowed me and said, "Hey, where's that line that tells us where the 1st down is?"
Yep.
Not a joke. Actually happened. 3rd down and 6 for the Highlanders. Pereira
Second first down.
has stacked receivers to the near side. He rolls out here to the near side looking for some help as he is smothered under
Number 7, Ernst.
Matthew LaMonica.
Close enough to count as a receiver.
Incomplete pass. Tested by
Was able to get in there on him. Pereira once again throws that one away, avoids the sack.
4th down.
Brings up
Pereira
4th
just
down.
able to narrowly get rid of that ball, and it's good to see him bounce up like that because that was a tough hit he took there.
It was good to see him bounce up, and it was also good to see his offensive linemen were back there trying to help
It's a
him
good
up,
sign.
get him right back up. Hey, we're sorry we let that happen to you. We'll help you out now. Another punt here for the Highlanders as Luca Valens in. I would love to see Luca get the opportunity to kick a field goal. He's got a lightning leg. He can hit it from 50, I believe.
And we had the opportunity to talk to him beginning of this season, and he was excited to kick some field goals.
That's right. As that is a pop-up punt, basically. Distance of the punt was roughly 14 yards, and it bounced backwards from that, where they will mark it at the 33-yard line of the Highlanders. Another bad field position for the Highlander defense. Backs against the wall. Trailing 35-0, 7:30 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, Highlander defense put in another difficult position here, and it's tough to defend when they have such a short field for Everett.
That's why I was on Joe. It's kind of like giving you a chance to find it.
It's Ellerby shotgun formation as trip receivers to the top of the screen.
Birds up, stand by Joe. Joe's up.
Little swing pass out here to Lackland. And he gets pushed out of bounds after the 1st down. Elijah Dessen there to push him out.
Damian Lackland with the reception.
Back to Joe.
Give him 16.
Lackland gets it down to the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Crimson Tide.
Yep, it's Lackland in the backfield again, right next to Ellerby. And we haven't seen Ellerby run too much tonight.
Trips to Ellerby's right. He looks to his left, goes to Lackland again with that swing pass. And he cut it back inside of Desson as Desson tried to square him up. A couple other Highlanders helped him out of bounds there at the 2-yard line. Roxon Tapa out there getting involved in that tackle.
You know, the last couple drives here for the Crimson Tide, you've seen them actually get in more of an organized huddle as, you know, now that they're up 35-0, a little more content to just get in that huddle, let the clock wind down, and then run your play closer to that 0 mark.
1st and goal here for the Tide. Ellerby gets it. Pass into the flat and into the end zone for the touchdown. Rodriguez caught that one. Pedro Rodriguez, his first touchdown of the game.
Just a quick slant pass there to Rodriguez, and he's able to find the end zone, or basically walk into the end zone there.
It's a quick slant pass, but let's call it what it is. It's a pick pass. The inside receiver goes out, picks the
next receiver sets
picks
that
the
pick.
defensive back for the outside receiver who comes underneath him. It is a pick play. If not performed correctly, it does get called as such. That kick is up, and it's good.
We see all the teams practicing that nowadays, Todd. Yep. I'll blame the NFL on that one.
But it's not a pick. No. It's just a brush.
As long as your hands don't come into contact
Exactly.
with the other player. No.
Exactly. 42-0 is the lead for Everett. 6:15 remaining in the half. Highlanders beginning to their season, this gauntlet at the beginning of their season. Talked about Noontime Sports being here. Matt Noon does that Noontime Sports podcast. Does an excellent job. Definitely highly recommended. Matt Noonan does basically local coverage of local sports around here. He also touches upon the Patriots as well. Has his Football Friday podcast. Like I mentioned, had an interview with Coach Pereira earlier in the summer. Has done a lot of coverage for the Highlanders as well as for Everett. So definitely something to check out.
Yeah, I may have to add that to my watch list, Todd. I mean, I have about 2 or 3 other podcasts I regularly listen to, but highly recommended, so might have to check it out.
Yeah, Matt does a great job. Does a fantastic job, as a matter of fact. Santos ready to kick this one away for Everett. That one fielded at the 2-yard line by Brito. Brings it out across the 15 where he meets a wall of Crimson Tide. Gives him up to about the 17-yard line. Highlanders will take over there offensively.
We saw the offensive line let their quarterback get hit on that to end that previous drive. Let's see if they help pick them up here on this drive and are able to get some positive yardage here on first down.
Pereira still in at the quarterback position. Highlanders have 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Pereira will keep this one as he tries to get outside, but he's going to be swung down at the 10-yard line.
And that is big old number 80, Pedro terror program.
Injured Terror with tackle.
Brings up 2nd down and long for the Highlanders. 2nd and 15.
I'm going to take Bird. Bird's up. Okay, Bird's up. Stand by Joe.
Pereira now the shotgun formation still. Hands it off. Looking for something in the middle there for Simon. Trying to bounce it back to the inside. Gets it back probably about 4 yards on that run. Brings up a 3rd down and 11 for the Highlanders.
That was one of Simon's better runs there. He looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but was able to pick up about 4 yards there on that play.
Showed some shiftiness, able to shift that back into the inside.
It looks like we're going to have a referee timeout here as he goes to the Crimson Tide sideline.
Pointed up to our scoreboard. Don't know that they were pointing out.
I believe, this is me guessing here, Todd.
Yes.
There might have been confusion again on the numbers. He might have seen a 9,
Yes.
but I believe that is a 4 up there.
I believe that's correct.
Yep.
That is
So
a
the
4,
referee
not
might
a
have got a
9.
little scared there. He thought, I thought we're around 4 minutes, but he saw 9.
3rd and 11 here for the Highlanders. Pereira gets the snap, breaks to the far side, tries to find a hole out there. That was a planned run the whole way. Nothing doing though. So he's dropped for a loss of about 3 yards.
I'll tell you what, Pereira is still here playing hard. We see him
No question.
take those hits, bounce right back up, go to the sideline, and come back out every single time. There's no quit in Pereira, I can tell you that now.
I'm interested to see once Santiago comes back, get Pereira out here as a wide receiver, which is his natural position. I want to see him on some of those little flare passes because we've seen a good burst of speed from him.
Get the ball in his hands to see what he can do.
Right. Valens in to punt this one away for the Highlanders.
Punt formation for the Highlanders.
Yep, Valens hoping for a better punt on this one.
Yep, punting it from his own goal line. Heads that one out of bounds as well.
This time, it's out of bounds on the left side. Last time it was on the right.
I'm not sure where they're marking this one. It looks like they're going to mark it around the 27-yard line. So another difficult special team situation there. I know Valens is directional punting that ball. He's trying to get it over to trying to get as much as he can out of it in the air before it gets out of bounds.
Yeah, he's almost trying to kind of cough and punt it and put it right into a corner, but it just keeps coming off that foot awkwardly and going right out of bounds. So, some adjustments to be made there.
Looking for an argument, Bob, it will not come from this quarter.
So Everett will take over at the Highlander now 25 is where they now have the ball marked. They lead 42-0.
Clock is going to continue to run here,
Yep.
but the referees are meeting, it seems like they're speaking with both coaches.
Yep. Trying to figure out, they might be talking about whether the clock will just continue to run or making an adjustment along those lines. Conversation is over, and yet a new one has begun. Looks like Everett's going to take a knee here.
Yep.
And finish off the first half, content with the 42-0 lead. I also will not be shocked if we don't see a new quarterback for Everett in the second half.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all if we kind of see some other players for the Everett Crimson Tide coming in the second half there and giving them some reps.
Ellerby takes the knee. Brings up second down.
You'll have to do it 2 more times.
So that's classic.
He'll take the knee a couple more times.
Let's say what happened to the JVs in.
15 left.
40-second play clock, and the time is set right after the play. So there'll be
Yeah,
2
just keep
more.
this in the frame.
What position is frame right football? One play corner, one play linebacker.
Yeah, we'll adjust it on we'll just half. If I burn.
Coach Dilboy went through the
My
classes
oldest son's good up. He's getting recruited.
Boy, too, is right now.
My Yale and stuff. That's great.
You don't see this formation in the first
Ellerby will take the knee again. It's a 40-second play clock, as long as the clock gets down close to 40, and that's what they're going to say it is. And that will do it for the first half of play. So the Highlanders trail in this one by the score of 42-0 against the Everett Crimson Tide. We go to halftime. We are back at Dilboy Stadium here on Somerville Ed TV, bringing you Somerville Highlander football as the Highlanders trail the Crimson Tide of Everett by the score of 42-0 after the first half of play. I'm Todd Harmon, joined by Eddie Maldonado. Eddie, tough first half for the Highlanders, no doubt about it. Interesting to see what will happen here in the second half, as I'm sure Everett's going to put in some of their backups, put in some of their younger players, and see what the Highlanders might be able to get cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to let their second and third team players get some reps here, and not pretty for the Highlanders in that first half. I certainly wouldn't want to be in that locker room. But, you know, with that said, as we talked about, they're going to stick to the game plan. We know Coach Pereira, he has that tough energy there. He's trying to, bring something positive to this Highlander program. So they're definitely going to try to stick to that game plan and put some points on the board and give something positive to come away with.
Absolutely. Hopefully that can occur here in the second half. Highlanders looking for their first points of this young season. So they were shut out in the first game against North Quincy, shut out here in the first half against Everett. Highlanders will start off on offense here in the second half, as Everett is ready to kick this one away. Adoni Santos will kick this one away for the Crimson Tide. Highlanders had one of their starting wide receivers and kickoff returners, Jaden Prevalent, injured there in the first half. He has not returned yet, as that kick is fielded at the 5. And Desson is brought down at about the 17-yard line.
Desson tried to make a move there, but was unable to shake his defender.
So the Highlander offense will come out and take over here in the second half, trailing 42-0 from their own 17.
And Austin Pereira still in at quarterback for the Highlanders.
Pereira, a wide receiver by trade, pressed into service because Victor Santiago, the normal starting quarterback, was injured in the last scrimmage for the Highlanders. He will be out. He has a strained shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. He'll be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks, hoping to have him back in time for Malden. So Pereira gets the snap, flips it out to the right. Simon trying to get to that corner.
And we saw a lot of Simon in the first half, so I assume we'll continue to see him here in the second half. And they're going to try to get him outside and use that speed.
Gain of a couple right there for the Highlanders brings up a second down and 8 from the 20. Highlanders setting up trip receivers here to the near side. Pereira gets the snap, hands it off to Simon, and he is taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard out of it. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 for the Highlanders.
Yeah, the Everett defensive line just bursted through the Highlander offensive line there and was able to stop Simon in the backfield, essentially.
Another 3rd and long here for the Highlanders, 3rd and 7. Pereira has had a difficult time getting time to throw the ball. They've rolled him out of the pocket most of the time. We'll see if he rolls out here. No, he'll stay in the pocket, looking downfield. One-on-one coverage on the outside. The flag is thrown. As 2 flags were thrown, the trailing official got it as well. Pass interference is going to be the call. There is no question about that in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder what the 2 flags were for. I think we were going to get pass interference as Ellie was trying to attempt to make the catch there, and the Crimson Tide corner was just not letting him raise his hands at all.
No doubt about it. Highlanders taking advantage of that one-on-one coverage on the outside. First down for the Highlanders via the pass interference. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Highlanders. Ellie once again at the top of the screen, trips to the near side. Ellie gives it off to Simon, and once again he is wrapped up.
That is Marvin
Follow him.
Desrue.
Swarmed under by Marvin Desaru. I just heard the pronunciation from the Everett broadcasters. We were wondering how to pronounce the name. Has that Louisiana rue at the end.
Yeah, better you trying it than me, Todd.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Big boy. We don't want to take Marvin out.
2nd down and 11 now.
Cost you an arm and a leg.
Nice job, yeah, man.
Birds up.
Pereira now the trips on the far side. Handoff up the middle.
It looks like we're going to have a different back there. It's Caden Jones, I believe.
I think it is, yeah.
So Caden Jones getting in there at the running back position. Nothing doing, though, as he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 11 here. Jones, a young sophomore. Lots of youth on the field for the Highlanders. Pereira, a junior.
Yeah, and give some credit to Coach Pereira there. We talked about him doing a little bit of recruiting and bringing in some more players into this Highlander program.
Pereira on the rollout. Hits Brito out there on the quick out. Makes the catch, goes out of bounds. Actually, it was tackled inbounds. They'll roll the clock. Brings up a 4th down and 5.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it here.
At this point in the field and this point in the game, down 42-0. We'll see what they do. And Pereira stays out there. Offense is still on the field, so a 4th down attempt here is in the offing by the Highlanders. 4th down and 6. Caden Jones still in the backfield with Pereira. Trips to the near side. Pereira rolling here to the near side. Pass is complete to Brito, and he has room to roam as he got hammered, but bounces right up, does Brito, as Angel Diaz brought the hammer.
As tough of a hit as that is, Todd, it's always good to bounce right back up and say, hey, I can take that.
I'll tell you, I was very impressed that Lucas Brito jumped up so quickly, not only from the hit, but also right in the middle of the Everett bench as well, trying to send a little bit of a message. Let's go. I'm ready to go. I just got the 1st down. Let's line it up again.
Absolutely. If you're Coach Pereira, that's what you love to see from your players, some toughness.
Highlanders across midfield. Now at the Everett 46-yard line. This is the first time they've gotten across midfield today, I believe. Pereira pitches this one to Jones. Caden looking to get to the corner, and he is knocked down short of the line of scrimmage, loses 2 on the play.
His name is Dante Bauer, also a sophomore.
Dante Bauer, tackle.
Young guys getting quality PT here, Bob.
See the younger players for Everett out there on the field. A couple sophomores getting into play right now as well as they go deep into their bench. Highlanders now a 2nd down and long, 2nd down and a long 11. As they stack receivers. Pereira gives it to Jones up the middle. Trying to get something going there. Stop, though, at the line of scrimmage.
Chris Ruiz with the stop.
So a 3rd down and 11 here for the Highlanders.
Yeah, this young defensive line for Everett is playing with some energy and some enthusiasm right now. They're not letting the Highlanders get anything up the middle there.
Highlanders trying to run the ball up the middle a little bit more with Caden Jones than they did earlier with Nehemi Simon. 3rd down and 11 for the Highlanders. Could be a 2-down situation here as they are just into Everett territory at the 47. Pereira back to pass, looking downfield, trying that far side. Pass is incomplete. The coverage was there, trying to get Jeremiah Ellie again.
Yeah, no pass interference that time as it was well played by the Everett defender.
So a 4th down and 11 for the Highlanders. Looks like the offense going to stay on the field. It's Pereira over getting the play.
It'll be a 4th and long, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Pereira air this one out again and try to pick up either another pass interference or a long completion.
And there's no possible way that this man sitting over my right shoulder is 75. Did Josh transpose the number?
Pereira has the play.
Is he 57? Has Josh been
Let's see what they dial up here. 4th and long.
He is about to have a kid, so.
2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Jones in the backfield with Pereira. Pereira back to pass, looking downfield, throws it out to the far side, and that one is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Overthrew Brito a little bit on the out.
Just a little too high for Brito there.
Brito also a young sophomore. Young players all over the field. And that was one thing that Coach Pereira was so happy about, was how many, you talked about, recruiting players.
Absolutely.
He was very, very happy about the fact that 10 extra players just showed up the first week of practice. They were told, hey, there's practice. Their friends were telling them they were having a good time at practice and it's something to get involved in, and 10 extra guys just start showing up. And that's building the program. That's how you've got to build the program up. You've got to get the guys excited to play.
Yeah, that's critical. Whenever you're coming here and you're kind of a new regime, a new coach, you want to spread the positive news, that positive energy, and it was good to hear that you had 10, 15 players showing up to practice.
I see LaMonica in the background. It looks like the quarterback is Carlos Rodriguez.
Carlos Rodriguez in at the quarterback position for Everett as they took over. 1st down, low snap. Rodriguez drops the ball as he was wrapped up by the Highlanders. Let's see who gets it, and the Highlanders come away with the fumble recovery in Everett territory.
Hey, great job there defensively for the Highlanders, able to come away with that turnover, and Rodriguez just not able to corral and hold on to that football.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I didn't see who came away with it. I know Christopher Islane was in the area. Gutenberg Joseph as well. Good job by the Highlanders as they were able to wrap him up after a low snap.
Good team defense there, able to just get after the ball there and jump on top of it and come out with it. I bet they know who came out with that ball.
They definitely know. It's Pereira back out on the field with the Highlander offense here. 1st down and 10. Trips to the near side. Pereira back to pass, looking over here to the near side. Gets it to Brito. Brito gets the completion. Wrapped up immediately afterwards. Gains about 3 or 4 on the play. We'll give him 4. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Highlanders from the Everett 40.
And I think that play is going to take us into the 4th quarter, Todd. So a quick 3rd quarter.
Very quick 3rd quarter, letting the clock run. We will go to the 4th. Highlanders trailing 42-0, but they are on the move offensively in Everett territory for the 2nd time this game after the Everett turnover.
A lot of youth on the field for the Highlanders, and they definitely would love to get into the end zone here.
I do see Prevalin back out there, number 4. He went down with an injury on a defensive play, playing in the defensive backfield.
I'm not so sure that the average amount of
Prevalin was having a good game before that.
Yeah.
One of the playmakers on the outside for the Highlanders. So hopefully we'll see number 4 back out there at the wide receiver position for them.
teams are forced to be in game at Cambridge.
Highlander football here on Somerville Ed TV. We've got all the sports, all the Highlander action here on Somerville Ed TV this fall. We've got football, we've got girls soccer, we've got boys soccer, and we also have girls volleyball. So keep your eyes on Somerville Ed TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Wake the neighbors, call the kids, let them know to follow Somerville Ed TV. 2nd down and 6 here for the Highlanders. It's Pereira rolling here to the near side, looking downfield. Passes behind Prevalin as Jaden is back out on the field. Good to see
Prevalin
Jaden out
open
there.
Yeah, it was good to see Prevalin run, and if only get his hands on that football, the damage he can do.
I would say there's a chance he'll be able to say the same thing.
So it brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Highlanders. Once again, 2-down territory for the Highlanders as they are in Everett side of the field, looking for their first score of the season.
No, the punters have been sent home. Along with the game clock operator who's working his stuff.
Clock will continue to run pretty much after every play, whether out of bounds or not, due to the 42-0 lead for Everett. So we will have a very short 4th quarter as well. 3rd down and 6 for the Highlanders. Pereira has trips to the near side. It's back to pass, looking to the far side. Looking downfield, pass is incomplete. As Jeremiah Ellie went for that. That was Prevalin, actually, my bad.
Yeah, Prevalin just unable to track that football.
I didn't know if he had straight armed him or not a little advanced.
So that brings up 4th down for the Highlanders. And they have sent the punt team in.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here, Todd. For a second, I thought maybe they were going to kick a field goal, but then that'll be crazy. So I guess it's going to be a punt.
Luca's got a good leg, but I don't know about a 60-yard leg. Or in this case, it would be a 57-yard leg, and a timeout's going to be taken by the Highlanders.
Maybe a change of heart here, and they'll bring out the offense one more time?
I don't know, because it wasn't even Luca Valens who was back to punt.
Interesting.
That doesn't stop. Doesn't stop in time.
I did not see number 6 out there looking like he was ready to punt.
Series of good news tonight.
Yeah, it looked like Ernest Pierre was out there to punt for the Highlanders, so
Yeah.
possibly a fake punt situation.
Ernst
going on
Pierre is a
there.
possibility for a fake.
Essentially, yeah.
We know Ernst has some skills.
Well, looking at the Highlander sideline there, it does look like Pereira is back at the helm for the Highlanders, and the offense is going to come back out.
Yep.
So we will not be apologizing for this abbreviated version.
Talked about all the other teams that we're covering here for Somerville, or on Somerville Ed TV, I should say. An undefeated girls soccer team, an undefeated boys soccer team as well thus far in a young season. And Lily Martin for the girls soccer team is going to be putting up a record-breaking number of goals. She is already at 15 goals on this young season. So a 4th down play here for the Highlanders. 4th down and 6. Trips to the near side. Pereira back. Looks to the far side. Looking downfield to Prevalin. Prevalin trying to get to that ball. And he's going to get a pass interference.
2 flags on that.
I think is going to be the call.
Pass interference on Everett.
That was a very light touch,
Yeah, it
I
was
think,
a
the
little,
knee back put on
little
Prevalin.
touch and go there. I'm assuming they're calling defensive pass interference for a little bit of a tug or a hold there at the end. But
Yeah. I didn't see a ton of contact, but I'm not going to argue with it as well. Gets the Highlanders a 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard
Hey,
line.
I'll take it.
And this is in Luca Valens field goal territory, just pointing that out.
Love to get a morale boosting
So a trip to the near side for Mr. Pereira, and the handoff goes
Tackle going to the right.
to Simon.
About 3, but did not escape the clutches of number 31.
Simon broke through one.
Jones, a junior.
Jalen
Possible,
Jones with the tackle.
nope. Possible tackler, but was brought to the ground after a gain of about 2.
The score sheet, the stat sheet doesn't say
I wonder if the Highlanders are going to continue to attack that side of the field as they've found success with 2 pass interference calls in their favor.
Yeah, the single receiver
Yeah.
opposite the trips. In this case, once again, prevalent. He's on the near side. Trips on the far side. 2nd and 8 for the Highlanders. So handoff goes to Simon once again, trying to get something there off tackle on the left-hand side. Gains a few more yards.
And it looked like for a second Simon had a big hole there, but Crimson Tide just closed in quickly on
It's
that one.
right from our angle
Yep.
here in the press box, you could certainly see the hole developing, and then it just immediately closed.
Yeah. Those
So-
sophomores for the Crimson Tide, as we mentioned, playing with some energy and enthusiasm out there. You know, they want to show I can be a starter too.
Absolutely. So 3rd down and 7 for the Highlanders.
come to you from it. This Friday night.
As Pereira's in with the play. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the game. Highlanders trailing 42-0. They are trying to get their first points of the season.
Machine needs to be fixed.
So they're in Everett territory, just outside the 20. Pereira's back. He's looking to the far side to Prevalent. He's got Prevalent maybe just too far in front of Jaden, as Jaden had about a half step on his defender.
4th and 6 from the other 21 is.
So we'll see what's going to happen here.
I don't think you're going to get your wish here,
I
Todd.
don't think I'm going to get a field
Pereira's
goal
gonna
here.
Run another play here on 4th
Absolutely.
down.
Well, 4 down territory. You want to put it in the end zone, for goodness sake. So 4th down and 7 for the Highlanders. Pereira got the play, but then Prevalent also went over and had a small word with the coach.
And Prevalent is that solo receiver to the left there, away from the trip, so could be going to him.
Absolutely. They've had success going there in the past. Back to
where he's
pass
looking.
Pereira, looking over to Prevalent, and again, just a little bit too far. As Prevalent was unable to get free of the defensive back. Turnover on downs, and Everett will take over. The Highlanders trying to hit Jaden Prevalent with that single coverage on the far side.
And they might end it
All
at
them out.
4 or 5.
So we have about 4 minutes remaining here in the game.
See what happens.
Everett could just
The first
run the
it's
clock out
likely they will
with the 42-0 lead.
which resulted in a fumble.
Bear in mind, Everett did fumble the ball the last time they had it.
Carlos
So we'll see what they want to do. Carlos Rodriguez at the quarterback position. Handoff up the middle.
LaMonica's looking to get ahead of steam. Be careful if he gets going. He's going to get up.
And wrestled to the ground is LaMonica.
That's carried by
Host
Matthew
of Highlander defenders there to make the tackle. Monica did not want to go down easy.
That took a host of Highlanders. But it was good there was a host available.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
Absolutely. Down 42-0, still wrapping up, still tackling. That's good to see. 2nd down and 8 for Everett. And LaMonica has it once again. Looked like Highlanders had good penetration here on the weak side, but LaMonica able to run it to the far side.
And that'll quickly bring 3rd down for the Crimson Tide.
3 minutes left in the game. 3rd down and 2 for the Crimson Tide. Carlos Rodriguez, number 19, the quarterback, taking over for their starter, Kamari Ellerby, here in the second half.
Third and 2 from the
Rodriguez
He'll keep it.
looks like he's going to keep it. Good job by the Highlanders getting penetration, but Rodriguez is able to turn the corner, bounce out,
That'll about do it.
and get the first down.
Done, but just ensure that
Carlos Rodriguez.
Good job by Rodriguez as he bounced outside. Great penetration right in the middle by the Highlanders as they were able to force him to bounce to the outside, but then the speed of Rodriguez was just able to get him around the corner for the first down. And 2 minutes remain in the game, and that might do it as Everett might decide to take the knee now.
Yeah, it looked like the Highlanders had him, and he picked up that first down. And as you were about to say, Todd, that could be game.
They are going to run regular play here for Rodriguez. Handoff.
Monica there.
Yep. Rumbling down the field. Stopped just at midfield. That was Chandler Timoleon
Timoleon
getting that
Collins,
run.
Yes.
Timoleon got a big run for a touchdown last week against Zavarian. So it is first down and 10 for Everett at midfield. Just a minute and a half remaining in this game, as they want to get these young players some more reps. Rodriguez back to pass. That one's up high. Barely threw that one forward. That one looked for a second like it might have been a lateral, but did toss it forward.
Barely.
Clock still running, under a minute remaining. Let's see if Everett will get one more play off.
It looks like they want to run one more play here, Todd.
I think Carlos Rodriguez, the young sophomore there, he wants to get one more rep.
If he had it his way, he'd probably take a shot deep, but it'll be a handoff here.
Yeah. Handoff to Timoleon. And he is tackled across the 40-yard line. And that will likely do it, as Everett gets the first down across the 40-yard line.
Yep, and the coach is waving them in. That'll do it, Todd.
That will do it, as Crimson Tide christen the new Dilboy turf by stomping on the Highlanders on their own turf, unfortunately.
Not
but
what the Highlanders wanted, but
not a huge surprise that Everett, a traditional power,
tough task.
comes in and is able to handle the Highlanders today. A rebuilding program, 42-0 is your score. The Highlanders do come away with the loss. We're not able to get into the end zone, but we did see some flashes. Looking forward to seeing Jaden Prevalent throughout the season. Looking forward to seeing as well how Jeremiah Ellie, we got to call his name a couple times, Elijah Desson as well. Saw him defensively as well, make some nice plays also for the Highlanders. So some good things to pull away for the Highlander coaching staff today, Eddie. Just a tough matchup against Everett.
Yeah, definitely a tough matchup, as we've talked about all day here. And for the Highlanders, it's a youth movement of some sort, right? We talked about a lot of sophomores and juniors and even freshmen here playing for the Highlanders. So it's a youth movement. It's kind of a rebuilding season for the Highlanders. They're going to take a look at this game film, but most of these players probably just kind of want to throw that away and just get ready to play next weekend.
Absolutely. Next weekend it will be at Lynn Classical, and then the following weekend they will be playing against Malden. That is at Malden as well. That is a matchup that I am interested to see what occurs, because a bit more of, I remember last year was a game, frankly, I felt Somerville should have won at Malden. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, but that will do it for us here tonight as the Crimson Tide come away with the 42-0 victory over your Highlanders. Thank you very, very much to Bill Trudell on camera, Joe Constantine taking care of the production. Also Jeff Argenziano, our man on the field, giving us all the inside information. Thank you very much, Jeff. Eddie Maldonado, great to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
Looking forward to a great season with you. Thank you so much. Thank you once again for watching. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, call the neighbors, wake the kids. Make sure you're letting everybody know to watch Somerville Highlander Athletics on Somerville Ed TV. That'll do it for us here from Dilboy Stadium. I'm Todd Harmon, and you have been watching Somerville Highlander football on Somerville Ed TV.